in less than a year.
Earn your competency-based masters at University of Phoenix.
Colbert's got the host of After Midnight, Taylor Tomlinson, and Barbara Streisand. New tonight.
CBS Premiere Week.
NCIS! Don't move!
We're bringing these guys down.
Being a hero is a dangerous job. Couldn't hurt to plus up the team.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
NCIS Hawaii, part of CBS Premiere Week after Super Bowl 58 on CBS.
Watch After Midnight with me, normal girl Taylor Tomlinson.
January 16th on CBS.
A snow day in our future? Quite possibly. I'll show you how much snow could drop and when. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, the short list of potential new nicknames for the Marquette Area Public School District High School. We have the 8 names the Board of Education will decide between. Plus, Boeing is working to address issues with one of its 737 planes after a scary situation. What United Airlines says it discovered with the MAX 9 planes. And 3 student cadets are promoted into the Civil Air Patrol. We'll show you the ceremony in Kingsford. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
It's pretty quiet out there right now, but I know that snow is supposed to start up pretty soon here.
Yes, and we could even see some freezing drizzle, or frizzle as I like to call it, but we do have weather alerts pretty much for the entire UP except for the western counties here. I'll go over the details of these, when it starts, when it ends, how much snow accumulation we could be seeing, as well as those gusty winds. Tonight we've got temperatures in that 20 to 30 range. Some of us could even be a little bit above 30, but most of us in the mid-20s. Flurries continue along with, like I mentioned, that freezing drizzle. Current temperatures in that 25 to 30 degree range. I've got more on the way after the break.
Thanks, Sarah. New at 11, we now have a list of nicknames the Marquette Area Public School Board is considering for the high school's rebranding process. After hundreds of submissions from the community, the MSHS advisory classes provided the board with 34 potential nicknames, and the board whittled that down to 8. Those potential names are Cardinals, Hawks, Marauders, Reds, Red-tail Hawks, Red Hawks, Red Jackets, and Sentinels. The board will discuss the names at its meeting next Tuesday, the 16th, and make its final decision on January 22nd. Community feedback is still welcome, and we have a link where you can send your input to the board at WZMQ19.com. It's almost been a year since the mass shooting on Michigan State University's campus left 3 students dead, rocking Spartan Nation. Today, Berkey Hall, one of the locations where 2 classmates were shot and killed, reopened. Autumn Pitcher has more on the decision, which is stirring some controversy on campus.
It's hard to come back from winter break as it is. This year especially difficult, as some Spartans never imagined the day they'd step back foot in Berkey Hall. To them, the building is a tragic symbol of pain and loss. With doors open and class back in session at Berkey Hall, students I spoke with today feel it's too soon, as the memory of losing their classmates is still looming over them. A group protesting at the administration building shouting, "Our time, our place, healing at our pace." The building has remained closed since shots rang out last February when a 43-year-old Lansing man entered the building, shooting and killing 2 juniors, Ariel Anderson and Alexandria Verner, later walking into the Union and killing sophomore Brian Frazier, before shooting and killing himself. Ava Plum, a sophomore at MSU, is feeling uneasy today as it's her first time having classes at Berkey.
I've never walked in here before, and obviously after everything happened I didn't expect to walk in here again, but now I have to. And it's a little nerve-wracking, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just trying to push myself through it because obviously it was really hard.
The university has therapy dogs on campus to comfort students this week. Now, an MSU spokesperson I spoke to today tells me there are support services and other counseling methods for students who need it.
According to MSU's spring semester calendar, there will be no classes on February 13th, which will be the anniversary of that deadly shooting. January is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and a state agency is ramping up its efforts to make our communities safer. The Michigan State Police is working around the clock to raise awareness. The department is also partnering with law enforcement from other states and national agencies. MSP's Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division is educating semi-truck drivers on what to look for while they're out on the roads and at truck stops.
This is awareness for like new truck drivers, new commercial vehicle drivers. Our CVED officers, Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division officers, they go out, they educate some of the new drivers, they educate the current drivers on what to be looking for when it comes to human trafficking.
The Upper Peninsula Human Trafficking Task Force will also have training sessions this month to educate people on how to spot human trafficking in their own communities. We'll have a link to the task force website at WZMQ19.com. Troubling new safety concerns and installation issues on Boeing's 737 MAX 9s, which could be related to what caused that scary incident on board an Alaska Airlines plane. Today, the head of the NTSB said had that plane been flying any higher, it could have been catastrophic for the 171 passengers on board. As a result, every Boeing 737 MAX 9 was grounded. Chris Van Cleve reports on the issues United Airlines says it's found.
Tonight, investigators finally have their hands on a key piece of evidence. The 63-pound door panel that blew off an Alaska Airlines 737 MAX 9 Friday night. With a loud bang and such force, it ripped open the locked cockpit door 26 rows away, sucking the headset off the first officer and literally pulling the shirt off a passenger. Nearly the entire cabin shows signs of damage, like these mangled seats next to the gaping hole that were fortunately unoccupied.
There was moments of, am I going to make it?
As oxygen masks fell, passenger Nicholas Hoke texted family what he feared could be his final messages.
That I love them and I'm not sure what's going to happen here. I'm in this predicament.
Saturday, the FAA grounded all 171 MAX 9s in the U.S. In 2019, all MAX jets were grounded for 619 days after two deadly crashes linked to a design flaw killed 346. Here in Portland, a school teacher found the missing door panel in his backyard. That plug door replaces an optional emergency exit on some 737s. Pilots flying the plane now at the center of the investigation reported pressurization warnings on 3 separate occasions in the weeks prior. The day before the incident, Alaska restricted the use of the newly built 737 so it wouldn't fly over the ocean, according to the National Transportation Safety Board.
So if you don't trust the plane to fly over water, should it have been flying at all?
It's an excellent question. That is something we're going to have to evaluate through our investigation.
Board Chair Jennifer Homendy.
Now, this plane was at 16,000 feet or so. What happens if it had been at cruise altitude?
We could have lost the aircraft. At that point, the pressure differential is so great that the explosion would have been extremely violent, extremely.
United Airlines says it started inspecting its 737 MAX 9s. It has found loose bolts holding that same component in place in several of its planes, something United believes stems from the manufacturing process. A bit of happy news here. 3 high-flying student cadets were promoted yesterday evening in an award ceremony at the Kingsford Armory for the Civilian Auxiliary of the Air Force. WZMQ's Iron Mountain Bureau reporter Amy Doyle shares their story.
Students from Kingsford and Norway schools were recognized for their service to Kingsford's Civil Air Patrol. 2 cadets, Ada Nemi and Madison Kaminsky of Kingsford, were promoted from Airman First Class to Senior Airman. One high schooler from Norway was promoted from Chief Master Sergeant to Second Lieutenant.
Now, instead of leading the squadron, I get to take command a bit and start making sure that orders are executed correctly.
Street also serves as a cadet at the Faithhorn Fire Department. The ceremony was conducted by Captain Rick Lewis and attended by many other community leaders, including 5 Dickinson County commissioners and 2 local judges.
I believe this might be the first pinning on ceremony where a big celebration is done simply for putting on the rank, as opposed to a ceremony for the actual handing of the award certificate.
There are a total of 4 Upper Peninsula Civil Air Squadrons. The UP squadrons primarily emphasize the Youth Cadet program, with Houghton's unit also serving an emergency services role as well.
The ceremony was attended virtually by other members of the organization. Senator Ed McBroom delivered words of encouragement to the young cadets.
We are desperate in the Upper Peninsula right now for people to join our fire departments, join our EMT squads, participate in our civic organizations, in our veterans organizations. And this is a group of young people who are already doing that little bit of service. And I wanted to encourage them, keep doing the service, even if you don't achieve a high rank.
The Civil Air Patrol carries out 3 missions: aerospace education, emergency services, and the cadet program, which is open to youth ages 12 to 18 of high moral character. Amy Doyle, WZMQ 19 News, Kingsford.
The Civil Air Cadets meet at the Kingsford Armory every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll have a link to that program on our website, WZMQ19.com. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break. Plus, it was a seller's market in 2023, but analysts say 2024 may be a better year for home buyers. We'll have the housing market outlook. Plus, who is helping Bay College students get a more realistic healthcare experience? We take a look at the Simulation Center.
Shop hundreds of Lazy Boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99 plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
The bag is back at Menards. Get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag, from household items and pet toys to power tools and even your favorite snacks. Get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag. This deal won't last long. Hurry in to get your bag and see how much you can save. Sale ends January 14th.
Save big money at Menards.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to buy get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget, we're our...
Need to get from point A to point B quickly, efficiently, safely? The Marquette County Transit Authority is your ticket to ride. Friendly drivers operate clean, blue and white buses throughout Marquette County 365 days a year. Seniors 60 plus ride free every Wednesday. For information about routes and tickets, click on marktran.com. We keep you moving. Marquette Transit.
Whenever you need us, WZMQ 19 News is just a click away. Watch the latest 19 News anytime on the free WZMQ 19 News app. Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasek.
Well, we've got some very low 30s out here this evening. Everybody else starting to dip down into the 20s. Let's get into our weather alerts. We are expecting an ice glaze and some freezing drizzle tomorrow. This goes until 5:30 in the morning. Could that, Eastern time I should say, could that extend into the later hours in the morning? Of course. So just be aware, we're expecting slippery surfaces across the UP, especially the central portions there. So winter storm warning. This starts at 7 a.m. on Tuesday, going until 7 a.m. for these counties on Wednesday and 10 a.m. for these counties. And we could see up to 11 inches here. I do want to point out Menominee County has the area public schools have already canceled Tuesday's schools for due to all of this inclement weather that's going on. Make sure you stay updated with their sites and as well as our website. Winter weather advisories tomorrow. We've got those for Baraga, Dickinson, and then these eastern counties where we could see heavier snow accumulations and wet snow over here. It could be very messy, and a lot of that snowfall and messy conditions are going to come with these very gusty winds later on in the afternoon, about 35 to 40 miles an hour. So if you have errands to run or you need to stock up that pantry, best do it before 5 o'clock. I'll show you in just a moment. So we're expecting those highs 30 to 35 tomorrow, and then Wednesday 25 to 35, blustery conditions. That snow is going to slow down a little bit for now with this system kind of taking a break. The past couple of hours, we've had heavy snowfall down south here as it's making its way, I should say, towards us. We do have some flurries floating around there, and like I mentioned, possibilities of freezing drizzle, especially with those temperatures that are dipping down into below freezing. So flurries this evening, and then tomorrow morning we'll get things kicked off around 6 a.m. but that heavier accumulation, like I said, starting after about 5. But midday, most of us seeing a lot of those flakes flying around, and then 3 p.m. that evening and afternoon and evening commute could be a little bit sloppy there. And then on our Tuesday evening, we'll have a little bit of a break. Like I said, the west, it looks like it's going to be staying fairly clear of these conditions, and then a few snowflakes on our Wednesday evening. Snow depth right now about 1 inch for everybody, so we'll take a look at those accumulations that are possible this evening. Maybe a dusting, but then by 9 a.m., just about ½ an inch down south here. And then as we get into our evening, about 3 inches expected in Menominee. We're going to see a lot of those heavier accumulations over here, especially the Sioux. You could be up to 7 inches there later on our Wednesday when this system eventually clears on out. Let's take a look really quick here at our 7-day outlook for Marquette. Gust pickup on our Wednesday as well, and then looks like flurries into the rest of our week.
Thanks, Air. And just a reminder to clear the snow away from your fire hydrants around your house. That'll help fire crews if there is a fire to fight in these wintry conditions. And the cold doesn't stop those from happening.
We want people to be aware that snow piles up around the hydrants, and it makes it pretty difficult for us to hook up to them when we show up for a structure fire response. So we want people to clear at least 3 feet around the hydrant. This saves us precious time when we respond.
In fact, with more heaters running and people trying to stay warm however they can, there could be even more fire calls than usual. And it can take fire crews up to 5 minutes, sometimes longer, to clear a hydrant when they arrive on scene, which is precious time during an emergency. Skiers and snowboarders in Marquette are happy about the snow. They were finally able to hit the slopes this weekend after a delayed start to the season. WZMQ Scott Menschel was at Marquette Mountain to see how opening weekend went.
Below freezing temperatures aren't the perfect outdoor weather for everyone. For the skiers and snowboarders around the UP, below freezing is just what they've been waiting for.
Forecasts look great. Don't anticipate having to close again at all.
The wait to get out on the slopes has been a long one. Athletes and recreational skiers and snowboarders have been in a holding pattern, eager for the chance to hit the mountain.
Just super excited to have it open. Can race now. There's a race on Tuesday, so that'll be really great.
All ages could be seen enjoying the now open trails, from advanced skiers all the way to those just beginning their winter sports journey.
My favorite part is that I get to spend time with my family and people I love.
School and club racing will also officially begin this week. NMU's ski team and high schools from around Marquette County will start practice on Monday.
It's important, these are athletes who need to train to compete, so we're really happy to be able to have those out. And then on Tuesday we have our first high school race, so the UP high school teams will be here Tuesday.
The mountain says teams and racers will be practicing and competing in limited areas to allow guests to still have plenty of room to enjoy the trails. Now that the mountain is finally open, all of the people who WZMQ spoke with say they will be hitting the slopes as much as possible.
Oh, I'll come probably every day.
Anytime.
As much as we can.
Yeah, finally, after school, we can come out here, do whatever we want.
Yeah, I haven't missed a day yet, so.
Scott Menschel, WZMQ 19 News, Marquette.
Maybe in 2024, you're thinking about buying or selling a home. With interest rates expected to drop and new construction expected to rise, 2024 may be your year if you're in the market to buy. Alan Henry spoke to the industry experts about how the market fared last year and why there's some hope for this coming year.
There was a collective pause, a big breath. It had been a really frenzied market for a few years.
That's how industry insiders like Mike Smith described last year for the real estate world.
A lot of pressure on the market, exacerbated by the really low interest rates we had in 2020, 2021. When the interest rates went up, the market kind of slowed down greatly.
But over the last few weeks, buyers and sellers who hit the brakes are now hitting the gas.
Based on how we finished 2023, the demand for homeownership and new housing has never left.
James Vogley with Housing First Minnesota says it was enough for 2023 to end strongly despite those challenges.
In the Twin Cities region, we're 60 to 90,000 housing units undersupplied. So the need and the demand for housing is very strong, but the interest rates provided a challenge and a hurdle.
Some relief from those rates are in sight. This week, the average mortgage rate was about 6.6%, down from 7.8% in October, but still nowhere near the 2.6% rates seen just 3 years ago.
Between Thanksgiving and Christmas, my phone started going crazy. People are making plans for this year, 2024. We're already seeing sales going up. Number of mortgage applications is going up. The folks that had kind of come to a pause in 2023 are starting up now in 2024.
New home build permits are also firing up again as the year starts, but the lack of inventory will likely continue to put pressure on buyers and sellers looking to make a move this year.
The undersupply is a much larger structural issue. It's something the legislature is looking at. And the bottom line is we need to build more homes of all types in Minnesota to get our housing market back to a balanced state, and that's going to take several years.
Still ahead tonight, the American Red Cross is in dire need of blood donations nationwide. One family story of how your donation really can save a life.
Yes. Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
Hey, what have you been doing up there?
Honey, only ask questions that you really want the answers to. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna get a reward for being such a nice guy.
As long as nice guys don't finish first.
A good guy, but he's got a big dilemma. 3 girls, a wife, are hanging up on his hands.
Oh my God, are we poor?
You are. We're doing very well.
Family's growing and it's only.
I know this might be too late to say, but I'm not sure we should have children.
The last man standing.
Oh, what are you dressed as?
Oh, farm girl.
E-I-E, know.
He's the last man standing.
I wasn't always this good at this.
Dad. That's Mike. We went to the mall!
Haters gonna hate. Peace out.
On Last Man Standing.
You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
A UP Community College is preparing healthcare students for their careers, and a local medical provider is helping them with some real-world equipment. WZMQ's Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons shows us.
Many of Delta County's future healthcare professionals are currently studying in Bay College's simulation centers.
The simulation centers at Bay College are used by our allied health students to practice skills, learn, make mistakes, see things that maybe they wouldn't see in a clinic setting.
Preparing them for various careers in the field.
That includes our EMT, our paramedic program, LPNs, the RM program.
With equipment designed to be as realistic as possible.
It's like really walking into that patient room. Our students treat the mannequins that we use like they would treat you or I. We have several children, multiple adults, geriatric patients, a simulation mom, who will deliver a baby.
And thanks to OSF Healthcare, that family of simulated patients has a larger lineup of equipment to care for its youngest members.
They have donated 2 of these infant warmers and then 4 cribs for students at both campuses.
That relationship with OSF is giving students hands-on training that will provide them with more opportunities after graduation.
We place students in the hospital. We work with placing our EMT paramedic students with them for clinic experience. It's just wonderful that we have them here right in our area so students can benefit from their generosity and possibly, become employed there.
And ensure their patients receive the quality care they need.
The up-to-date equipment goes to help with that realistic scenario. They feel more comfortable and more prepared to provide care when they're in an actual setting.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
A rise in respiratory illnesses around the state is no cause for alarm. That's according to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Doctors say before the COVID-19 pandemic, there were really just 2 major respiratory illnesses, influenza and RSV. With COVID being a 3rd major illness, doctors say it's natural to see more sick people, leading to more hospitalizations. UP Health System Marquette says it is prepared to handle a potential increase of patients.
To make adjustments to how we purchase supplies, how we staff, how we take certain measures to prevent transmission of different respiratory viruses in our facility.
You can find more health resources at our website. The Red Cross says the blood supply is at such critically low levels, they're declaring a nationwide emergency, putting patients at risk of not getting life-saving transfusions. Natalie Brand gives us a look at the impact blood donors make.
Jack Malandrino and his twin sister were born months premature, weighing around 2 pounds and facing serious health complications.
His heart would stop and he would stop breathing routinely, and it was just terrifying.
Mom Susan Malandrino says a blood transfusion helped kickstart Jack's recovery. He's now a healthy, thriving 12-year-old.
That saved my life, which I wouldn't be here today.
Donors are needed now more than ever as the Red Cross is facing an emergency blood shortage. The number of donors is at a 20-year low, with a loss of 300,000 donors since the COVID-19 pandemic.
It means that hospitals will order a certain number of units of blood, and those orders are not being filled fully. So hospital blood banks are low on blood.
Dr. Eric Gary, medical director of the American Red Cross, says emptier shelves could force hospitals to make excruciating decisions.
Doctors have to make choices about which patients can receive a transfusion in a given day. Surgeries like heart surgeries can be delayed waiting for the available blood to be collected and sent to the hospital.
At this Red Cross donation center in Washington, D.C., donors who give regularly say the shortage should be a call to action.
People need to realize it's not that hard, it's not that much time.
Every drop of blood matters.
And what did that blood transfusion mean to your family?
It meant everything. It meant the world.
Life is so precious.
And Jack plans to donate when he's old enough so he can pay it forward.
The Red Cross supplies about 40% of the blood for the United States and says while all blood types are needed, type O and platelets are most urgently needed. That snow moves in tonight, and we could also have a glaze of ice for the morning commute. Ariane has the outlook on the way. And a pizza place in Negaunee cuts the ribbon on its new restaurant. Gravidoni's is our final story after this break.
When finances and plans for retirement come together, it's a beautiful sight. Join our experts in shaping your tomorrow today.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This is Home Community Calendar.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go.
3, 2.
For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget,
The UP's show for family fun. Join me for Pictionary here on WZMQ TV 19.
Come on down to Outdoor Man, where our camping department is intense.
Set it up in 30 seconds flat. And take it down even faster.
And we're always family friendly.
We found a bear cub in here.
Been nice knowing you, Baxter.
Outdoor Man is open for business on Last Man Standing.
Just a reminder that your morning could be very slick, especially for these central counties here, as we're expecting some freezing drizzle. Could be a light glaze of ice. And then we're expecting a lot of snow tomorrow. Well, at least a lot for what's happening right now. This goes until Wednesday morning. Make sure you've got yourself prepared for that. Just a reminder, Menominee area public schools are canceled for Tuesday. Right now, our temperatures in that 25 to 35 degree range. Let's take a look at the other school districts that might actually be in school tomorrow. Those temperatures around noon, a little bit chilly in those low 30s there, and then possible flurries or snow accumulations for, like I said, the central and eastern portions of the UP. 7-day outlook for Escanaba. Expect those gusts to continue on Wednesday up to 30 miles an hour, and then possible snow for the rest of the week.
Finally tonight, a new pizza place in Negaunee officially cut the ribbon today. Gravidoni's Pizza opened its doors in the former Teal Lake Pizzeria building in December, and it's been a popular spot since then. The owner says with wait times for dinner sometimes over an hour long. He says the community support while opening has been amazing, and he hopes the fresh handmade style will keep people coming back.
Buy like a 20-pound wheel of Parmesan cheese, and we grate it all with a commercial grater, so like it's fresh Parmesan Romano cheese. Just things like that. Try and do the little things right. Try and do it homemade, make it unique, and just make it good.
Gravidoni's is open Tuesday through Saturday right on Teal Lake Avenue there, right across the street from Lakeview Elementary School. A perfect spot. I pass by it every single day and I still have not eaten there. But I will say there's always cars there, so it's definitely popular.
Bring some in.
Look at her.
Mi piace pizza. I'm learning Italian.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Sleep better with a new mattress from Kirkish Furniture. We proudly feature made in the Midwest Restonic mattresses. Try one out today and compare other major brands. Let our sleep specialists help you find the bed of your dreams at Kirkish Furniture.
Who will be there when there are voices that need to be heard? Who will be there when amazing rises up? Or a need for a warning comes?